Welcome back, everyone, to That Amazon Ads Podcast, where today we are continuing the case study of scaling the brand Insulted, an electrolyte company, from $5,000 a month in sales to over $100,000 a month in sales. Today, deploying the tactic of sponsored brand ads, showing you guys how you can make the most out of your sponsored brands, because they are one of the most expensive ad types and a very easy way to lose a lot of money if you're not doing them right. So joined here always with Andrew. Andrew, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Excited to dig into this topic. We're going to be talking about sponsored brands and sponsored brand video. Going to be sharing a couple little highlights and tidbits that a lot of people in the industry, when I tell them how to do it, they're like, oh, that's how you do that? And so we're going to be digging into exactly what that is. So stay tuned as we get into the episode. But first, Steven.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
What?
Hey,
well,
hello guys.
Oh, look at that. Who do we got here? This is Ştefan from Trivium Group. Ştefan, who are you?
Oh, hello guys. I am Ştefan. I am an Amazon strategist at Trivium Group, owned by Mina Elias, and I am glad to be here with Andrew and with Steven.
Yeah, and you know, I've been helping out with some stuff at Trivium, and you had messaged me on Slack. We're actually going to throw up a couple of screenshots of our conversation here, but you signed up for the Masterclass, and then in the message you sent to me, you said that you're applying what you learned. You're getting explosive growth with a lot of exclamation points for your clients. And then in that other screenshot we throw up here, you said that you would love to come on the podcast, share your experience. So I'm throwing up these screenshots just to show everyone we're not, paying Ştefan for this. We didn't solicit him or anything. He wanted to come on and just let you guys know what he likes about the Masterclass. So I'm just going to give you a minute or two, Ştefan, to just share your experience.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for introduction. So yes, I reached Steven after I started to apply what I started to learn in that Amazon Masterclass. And yes, literally I was amazed because I had some issues with the sales and the profit for some of my clients. I started to apply the methods, especially for the bid and the placements. And like the next day, I was looking at the reports and I was like, oh my God, this can't be real. I kept on going with the same methods for other clients and the same thing. And I was like, okay, I need to tell this to the guys because this is unbelievable. You can literally get the results that you want if you apply the right methods and if you calculate a bit the things that you want to do. And wow, it was amazing. And it's still amazing because I still use them.
It really is. Like, I would say it's pretty much close to magic in terms of when you deploy those bidding formulas with the placement calculations, everything like that. This is why we've said on the podcast, and maybe now, Ştefan, you could probably vouch for this, but would you say when you're onboarding a new client that you can tell them that like within the first 30 days that like their net profitability will cover the cost of services with, say, Trivium? Do you feel like you're able to make that commitment and guarantee to them now?
Yes, definitely, because now I have a more precise method that I use. I know a lot of methods because I learned from Mina, which is great. But with your method, guys, I started to basically improve my skills. I got a lot more precision, and now I can definitely tell to the clients, hey, let me fix this, the sales, the profit, what you need. And I guarantee that in just a few days, we will be on track. And this is what it happened, literally.
It's awesome. That's really cool.
That's incredible, man. That's exactly why we built the Masterclass, was for people like you and for testimonials like this and just being able to go get really great results. And the Masterclass is a premium course and it's priced as such. So Ştefan, I know you put up a pretty big price tag to pay to get in there. What would you say to somebody who's on the fence about it, looking at the price tag, like, is it worth it or not? What would you say to that person?
Okay, to a person that has this thing with the pricing, I would say only one thing. Look at the value. The price does not matter, because this Masterclass can give you at least 2x, 3x, 4x, 10x ROI if you apply the methods and if you keep applying them. So don't worry about the price. Look at the value, because here is a lot of value, a lot.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Ştefan, for coming on. And we'll let you go now. And we're going to jump into the rest of the episode. But thanks again, and we'll talk to you later, man.
You are welcome. Thank you, guys, and keep on rocking.
Right on,
Thanks,
man.
brother. You
See ya.
too.
Bye-bye.
So today we're going to be reviewing our sponsored brand strategies for both sponsored brand videos as well as our static sponsored brand ads. We've got some tips and tricks that we'll show you guys that can drastically improve the performance of these campaigns. But first, we're going to show you the video that Luke Melrose made for us so you can see what our new sponsored brand videos look like. So overall, pretty good video, really focusing on that don't break your fast. We're trying to tap into, because this electrolyte category is so competitive, we're trying to tap into the niche within the niche, which is specifically around those intermittent fasting electrolytes that don't break your fast, that type of stuff. And then Andrew, you set up a couple of sponsored brand video campaigns just yesterday. Why don't you let us know what we're looking at here? We got one of them open. How'd you set these up? What are we looking at?
Yeah. So for sponsored brand videos in particular, you got a couple different options. You can, try to go after that top of search placement that you see that's nice and really engaging, really high click-through rate. Or you can go after kind of the in-search placement where that video shows up, down below the fold and drives directly to a product detail page. So that's the kind of key distinction here between the two, is that you have one that drives directly to a product detail page versus one that goes to the store. And so, each one of those is going to have different placements. You can win both of those placements at the same time. So you could have top of search video running as well as in search video running, just saturating the page with more video content. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, but I went ahead and set up one of each for those. And those are just specifically going after a list of 5 fasting keywords. I utilized the Product Opportunity Explorer to go in and look at some of the keyword themes, found that fasting was a big one, basically just went through and picked out some of the top volume fasting related terms and paired those up with this video and launched it. So
yeah.
The only other comments I have on this is, you have a question? Go for it.
Well, I was sorry. I thought you were done. Keep going, and then I'll talk.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to go into, there's a couple ad groups inside of this one that you'll see. So the reason why is because I made one that was more geared towards mobile versus one that is geared towards desktop. So biggest difference there is just the orientation of the video. So on the mobile one, we have a vertical orientation of the video, same exact video, just different size. And then for the other one, we have the desktop version, and separated those out so that way we could just kind of see the differentiation between the two, see where we're getting most of those placements, and see if we can utilize that vertical video on mobile, because the layout of that ad just looks a lot better as you're scrolling through mobile. Whenever you're utilizing that vertical video, just displays a little bit differently. So got both of those running and testing out, targeting the same exact keywords.
And so far, that horizontal landscape video has 100% conversion rate. You can see right here, we got one order on one click. So if you want 100% conversion rate guaranteed, no matter how many clicks you have, hit up Luke Melrose, because that's what he does, 100% conversion rates only. We will not get a single click that doesn't convert from this video. Just kidding. All right, so within these videos, Andrew, so we got these 2 ad groups here. We're focusing on exact match keywords. As you said, the targets, these were taken from, so people talk about single keyword campaigns, right? And we had that whole debate on them. We on the previous episode for Insulted, we showed you how we were creating single keyword campaigns, why we were doing that for sponsored products. When it comes to sponsored brands, we do things a little bit differently. We call them single keyword theme campaigns, in which we're really trying to dial down into one specific kind of category, the niche within the niche. And the reason why we do that is because only sponsored brands allow you can tailor the creative, that's the video, the images, as well as the headline to that specific category. So if someone's typing in something looking specifically for fasting, intermittent fasting, that type of stuff, and if they see an ad that if they just see a random electrolyte ad, it could be a zero sugar electrolyte. But if it just doesn't say anything about that and it's just a very generic ad because someone just dumped all of their keywords, that were all over the place. Some were for zero sugar, some were for fasting, some were for whatever. And if you just throw them all in there and you got one generic headline that's just going to kind of cover all your bases, it's not going to feel as specific and as much like the customer. What we're trying to create for them is an experience where it feels like a match made in heaven. This is exactly what I was looking for. I typed in fasting electrolytes, no sugar, and I see this big ad that says fasting electrolytes, no sugar. And that's exactly what we're trying to capture here. We're focusing on exact match. As you can see, these CPCs are really dang expensive. So even though we're bidding $6, we're still not we're not getting nearly as much traffic as we can. So you see these suggested bids get all the way up to $10. We have a lot of work to do in terms of improving the conversion rate on these listings. A big part of that's going to come from just generating more reviews. We'll talk more about that later. But Andrew, anything else you want to call out on this campaign? Because we got this other campaign here too. What was the difference between that first campaign you created and this one?
Yeah, the only difference between these two is just where it's directing the traffic and the placements that you can actually win with it. Yeah, so this one's your product detail page placement. We don't have to put as much effort into that one. Pretty straightforward. Just pick one product, pick one video. The other one you just clicked back to has a couple different ads inside of it. So with the store product collection ad, you can make multiple ads, or sometimes I like to separate them into separate ad groups. So it's a single creative ad group. We've talked about that before. In this case, we're just kind of testing and wanted to see which ones Amazon picks out first, and we'll see. So I came up with a couple headlines for these just off the top of my head, and got those running.
So this one,
go ahead.
Because dehydration sucks, all lowercase. It's just like a stylistic choice of trying to be what's the word?
They do a lot with that with their brand too. If you look at their website, they do a lot of lowercase stuff.
Well, even the brand is called Insulted without a capital I. So I forget what that's called. It's like the opposite of hyper. It's an understatement. That's what it is. Yeah. So making a bit of an understatement. We got hydrate responsibly, and then we have 0 calorie, high potency electrolytes, better performance without breaking your fast. So we're testing a few things. We're hoping Amazon will do a good job of rotating out the ads within this ad group. That's not always the case. So if that's not the case, then we'll just have to pause a couple of these to get more traffic to the other ones so we can garner enough data. Here we got this was suspended for whatever reason. We'll look into that later. But then we've got this
quick note on that. Yeah, if Amazon's not rotating the creatives, we can either just pause the ones that we don't want to run, or what I've seen work better and to where it actually will rotate them a little more efficiently. In some cases this works, sometimes it doesn't, but basically just break them out into their own single creative ad groups, same bids, same targets across all of them. And Amazon does a pretty good job, better job of cycling through each of those at different times of the day. And you get kind of a good split test running at the same time. And on this one, there was no reason for that to be suspended. We uploaded it. It's the same exact thing. I just uploaded it, got suspended. I re-uploaded it again, exact same thing. And the second one got approved. So that's why that happened.
Okay. Yeah. Here's why. This content isn't compliant with claims policies. Who knows? So we can check that out later. But they went through. So we're good. All right. So that's that one. Now, what we're going to show you is what we're doing with our static brand ads. And we have 3 campaign drafts here that we're about to submit all of these live for review. But as you can see in our naming convention, we did this in episode 2, I think. But we show you how we name these. So this is sponsored brand ad, driving traffic to the store. It's a manual targeting campaign, focusing on non-brand keywords. Technically, this is not actually super exact match, but it's a placeholder for now. The theme that we're focusing on is fasting. And then we're usually going to focus on CPC, cost type. We are not a big fan of the VCPM. We have a whole episode dedicated to VCPM. You can check that out. When it comes to automated bidding, by default, this is toggled on, which is basically the placement settings for sponsored brands. We turn these off and we decrease the bids by 50% just as a starting point, because usually we're going to be increasing for top of search by 100%. With sponsored brands, you don't increase for top of search. You have the option to increase or decrease for not top of search. And so we'll usually decrease by 50%. Quick note here too, it says automatic bidding or bid adjustments will not be applied to ads with video format, which is weird because videos can appear at top of search or other placements, but Amazon just says that if this is a video campaign, they're going to completely ignore this. So you could still put something in. They're just telling you it's not going to make a difference. And then we come down here. We're doing a product collection. This ad here is not a video ad. This is our static image ad, driving traffic to the store. This is keyword targeting. Now you can see these are all of the keywords we're dumping in here. Electrolyte fasting, all these variations of fasting. We didn't have intermittent fasting in there, but that's fine. In the search terms, when those pop up, we'll harvest them in here as well. And then very important to note, you'll see we're doing plus signs for these broad match. That is called a modified broad match, which essentially means typically with broad match, Amazon really opens up the doors to what that could, you have a broad match keyword and Amazon will say synonyms count. So if we said electrolytes and someone types in table salt, who knows, that could potentially trigger. So if you want to make sure that electrolytes is guaranteed to be in that search term, you put a little plus sign in front of that term and you add it as a broad match. And that signals to Amazon that we're not accepting synonyms. It has to be this exact word. Fun fact, to add those plus signs, so we had our keyword list, and then to add a plus sign in front of everything, I just went to ChatGPT and said, add a plus sign before every single word. Just save some time to grab those plus signs. So that's what we did there. We added these in. Also very, very important for your negative keywords, where the purpose of this is non-brand keywords. So we negated all of our competitor brands as well as our own brand names and a few variations of it as negative phrase. Were you going to say something, Andrew?
Nope. Keep going.
All right. And then we come down to the ad itself. And note this, everything in this ad is focused on fasting. That's the niche within the niche that we're going for. So we need to make sure we include that. So that's that call to action. Don't break your fast, 0 calorie electrolytes. Important things to note in here is you want to be keyword dense in your title, because we have seen, and we have over years, we've got plenty of data for this. And in the Masterclass, we go into more detail about this, specifically on how to craft these sponsored brand winning headlines. But for this episode, just the abbreviated version of that is keyword dense sponsored brand headlines always outperform. And it's for one of two reasons, or maybe a combination of both. Either number one, Amazon is indexing those titles and you're getting some SEO value out of it. Could be either that, or number two, it could just be that when you're matching the customer's language and using the same words that they're typing into the search bar into your headline, you're that much closer to the relevancy to your customer, and you're really winning them over. And that is just causing a higher click-through rate and a higher conversion rate, which in turn will just give you better SEO as a metric of an ad quality score. So could be either one of those two reasons or a combination of both. But as you can see here, we have let's switch this to desktop and get a bigger view here. So this is what it looks like. We have a carousel rotating through 3 different images. We're trying to tell a little bit of the brand story. So it's like the box, and then the next image is taking it out of the box, and then the next image is pouring that drink into a glass. Those pictures are actually cropped a little bit weird, the second and third one here. So we're having Luke really quickly. The reason why is because these other images were in a vertical landscape, so they didn't really fill the whole screen very properly. We had to crop it to make it wide, and it was a little too close zoomed in. So Luke's going to give us fresh actual landscape images for images 2 and 3, and then we're going to replace these with those, and then it'll be good to go. Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but I was just messaging Ştefan, and he felt so strongly that you all need to take the masterclass that he was telling me I should offer a temporary discount that if you sign up with his name, Ştefan, as a coupon code, STEFAN, you can get 50% off for a limited time. So we're going to create that coupon code right now, so make sure you go sign up and don't miss out.
The only thing I can think to cap off the carousel of images is maybe just a person drinking and enjoying it right at the end.
Yeah, true. Faces usually do pretty well in these creatives.
That would be good. Yeah, for sure. Love that, man. I think that's good. I like this creative. This looks good. What else you got?
Submitted for review.
Boom.
Loading. Done. Okay. All right. Coming over to sponsored brand ad number 2. The next theme. Again, we're looking through the SQP to see what are the highest volume themes. Or actually, Andrew, it was Product Opportunity Explorer that we also outlined in the episode with Luke Melrose on this, where you can find themes or sub niches, whatever your favorite pronunciation is within this category. So we saw fasting electrolytes was one, hydration packets was another. So if someone types in hydration packets and they see this ad that says, don't break your fast, 0-calorie electrolytes. Okay, we did not use any of the words they typed in. They typed in hydration and packets, and none of those words appeared in that search. Even though it's basically the same thing, it's not going to feel the same way compared to this, dehydration sucks, sugar-free hydration packets. So hopefully you're catching on to what we're doing here, where the goal is hydration packets. You can see our keyword list here. It was a pretty tight list because there's not as many variations of these types of keywords, but the broad and phrase match will pick up on those. But yeah, these CPCs are crazy high.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
not
be tough to compete there.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if we're gonna get any clicks on this one. It went away, but there was before when we were creating this, there was a Amazon had like a forecast, and it said we think you'll get 5 clicks. So we could always turn it up. Now I'm going to say one quick caveat here. This keywords related to your brand theme, never ever use those. My goodness, I tested them on 2 different accounts, and I cannot tell you how horrific the performance was. They're basically auto campaigns. So it's basically like an auto campaign, which those are prone to garner a lot of clicks from not the most relevant stuff. You really don't have a ton of control on it. And while we love auto campaigns for sponsored products, sponsored brands are way too costly to do that type of research. And you usually just can't really afford it. You're going to do a much better job of doing research with modified broad match. And, if we just do like hydration packets modified broad, we're at least guaranteeing a certain level of relevancy with all of the possible searches that are coming through. And that'll be a much better and more effective way to do research compared to just going with these keyword themes, which, yeah, with 2 of my clients that I tested on, just like the conversion rates were just the worst, and the ACOS was like 500%. So we turned those off very quickly. So once again, negated all the brands, including our own, from the theme, got this ad up and running. For this one, we're not doing a carousel. We could. I'm kind of just waiting on those other images. I don't know. Do you think there'll be a big difference between just one image versus the carousel of images, Andrew?
I don't know off the top of my head. We'll see, but I would anticipate slightly higher click-through rate on the carousel one, just due to the engaging nature of the ad. It shows up and like immediate. I think it swipes up on its own after a couple seconds. So
yeah,
might see some mild differentiation, but hard to tie it to just that one thing.
Cool. So I will hit submit and send that through, and then we'll take a look at our one final campaign here. This one is focused on the theme hangover. Liquid IV was very popular for, I think a large part of how it became popular was the hangover cure, or like before someone's going to go out and have a wild time, drink up some liquid IV. I mean, because that's actually typically, as my understanding, I've never personally gotten an IV, but I have a friend that Andrew. We went to El Salvador with him, that he'd have some nights where after a crazy time out, he would go the next day to an urgent care and literally get an IV that would just fill his body with water.
Oh my gosh.
So,
of course he did.
Yeah. Shout out Travis. All right. The liquid IV concept, like the whole branding idea, was that it's like you're getting the equivalent of an intravenous injection of hydration through a drink. So you stir it, you mix it, you fix that hangover. So we saw quite a bit of search volume for, this Artie one snuck in there. I'm going to delete that one. There was a couple people who were clearly really needed some hydration, as you could tell from the typos in their search terms. But hydration, electrolyte before drinking, and hangover hydration, hangover package sugar-free, all this kind of stuff. Same concept. We were just pulling these from either the SQP and or the Product Opportunity Explorer. So these ones are actually quite a bit lower volume, but much more affordable CPCs on these at least. So hopefully we can get some decent traffic on it. We will find out. Negate all of these branded terms. Come down to the product ad, and we've got this that says, I'm not sure why this is loading so weird. Let's just do mobile. whatever. Last night was a mistake. Hydrate next time. So just kind of being a little fun with it. We could have used the term hangover, but we could test that if we wanted to. We could say hangover hydration packets, whatever, maybe get the SEO value. But sometimes we really like, you're not at the end of the day, as much as you want to play into the SEO algorithm, everything, the SEO algorithm is not the thing that's buying the product. People are. So you want to really be personable with your audience. And so that's why sometimes we try to do some fun stuff like this with our headlines. So if someone's typing hangover packets, last night was a mistake, there's enough context going on that they're like, they get what I'm experiencing right now. And then we say hydrate next time. And I think this ad will do pretty well it kind of just depends on how much traffic we actually get around these terms. But we've got a long list, few variations of it. And yeah.
And again, I mean, the whole purpose of this is really just trying to niche down what we're going after. Okay, so the electrolytes category is very vast. It's got a ton of competitors, very difficult to find your opportunities to compete. And so what we're doing is looking for just those sub areas, those sub niches that maybe don't get quite as much volume, but we might have a competitive leg to stand on whenever we start bidding there, and we can afford maybe more affordably be able to play in those arenas while we try to build up a little bit of momentum. And just because those CPCs are so expensive and, not a place that you really want to be trying to experiment too much, but there are cases where it makes sense to go after some of these really high cost placements. And one thing that I've seen work really, really well, and there's a lot of reasons why this happens, but whenever you're going after a bunch of keywords to rank on with your sponsored product campaigns, you should be coupling that and pairing that with a very advanced or in-depth sponsored brand strategy as well. Because think about it, like if you hop on a search and you type in fasting electrolytes and you land on a page and there's a video ad for this one brand at the top of the search where you see first, and then there's that same brand that's in one of those top 4 sponsored product placements, and then you keep scrolling considering your options and you see another video ad that's the same brand. It's like you're getting 3 touch points if the customer scrolls to consider other products at all, just for your brand right then and there. And what I've seen is that drastically improves the conversion of your sponsored product campaigns, and you have this kind of like beneficial effect of by hitting the customer multiple times, getting multiple touch points and impressions with multiple different creative assets and ad types. And so if you're ever going after sponsored single keywords with sponsored products, couple that with sponsored brands, and you'll start to see that the conversions between the two, and it makes a big difference when you have both of those running.
Yep. And one final thing I just realized we should probably call out, as you guys might have noticed, we got our updated images here. So these look very nice. They've only been up for a few days, but we have already seen a moderate improvement in both click-through rates and conversion rates. Low data, we got to give it some more time to see how it goes. But overall, this is really needed because right now we have been averaging around a 3 to 4% conversion rate on these highest volume keywords, which with this variety pack, which is the top seller, coming in at $22, if you're paying $5 for a click, if you convert even with a 25% conversion rate, you're at 100% ACoS, right? If you're spending $5 4 times, you're at $20, you get a $20 sale. That's 100% ACoS, even with a 25% conversion rate. So as you can imagine, with a 3 to 4% conversion rate, we are you can't really run the ads profitably at this stage, which is not the goal. The goal is to run as aggressively and drive as many sales as we can. And the overall ad cost of total sales, we're trying to keep that at around break even. We might even need to run those at a loss. We'll see how much we can accomplish now that we've gotten these videos updated. We actually still have the legacy video in there for now. We're going to test out the new video from Luke, even though that the video he created actually isn't specifically for the product listing page. That one's more designed as an ad specifically focusing on those fasting type keywords. But the current video actually has a really low view duration. You can see it in Seller Central in the upload videos area. You can see this one has less than 50% view rate. The videos Luke's done for us in the past usually get like 75% view duration, which is much better. So I did test it on one of these ASINs, I think. But yeah, we'll let you know how those go as well. But overall, you can see we got our citrus, we got our lemon and lime, grapefruit, showing the grapefruit, lemon ginger, lemon and ginger, and mango passion fruit. So we're showing off 0 sugar, 0 calories, big bold, 28 stick packs made in the USA. So these should hopefully help us out quite a bit. And that's all we got for you on this one. We'll check back within a month and show you exactly what the performance has been on these campaigns. Between now and then, we're just going to do the stuff that we've already shown you. We're going to be doing some routine bid optimization. We're going to be continuing to harvest out those keywords, and we'll check back in a month and let you know how things are going.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to that. I only had one final thing. I just wanted to make sure I showed, because I told people I was going to show them like something that maybe most people don't know. And maybe I already said it, but I don't remember. There was 2. How to get your sponsor brand video to win the top of search placement. And number 2, how to use vertical videos without using the VCPM cost model. So Stephen, if you could just jump into the campaign manager real quick. This will take like 2 minutes. Just going to run through, try to create a new campaign, and we'll run through both of those really quick.
Create campaign, sponsor brands. What do I do?
Okay, so scroll down to where it gives you the formats. Okay.
Video?
Yes, so we're going to select video. And in order to get the top of search placement, you have 2 options. Landing page right there. I mentioned it. Product detail page, and then store on Amazon. If you want top of search, you have to pick that store on Amazon. So it's going to be directing traffic to your store. That'll get you the top of search placement that you're looking for with the video ad.
Oh, I'm going to interrupt real quick. Or
I know.
Were you actually done?
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I thought, are you going to say something about the down bidding thing?
The cost control. Okay. Do not enable cost controls. I wish I would have said that. I was supposed to say that at the start. So hopefully you've made it through this far. So you hear this very important piece of information. If you did, good job. Everyone else is going to probably not get as good performance as you. Keep cost controls at or below a desired value. This is a very weird thing that Amazon has turned on by default. So when you have this turned on, it basically disables your ability to control any of the bids within that campaign, which to me is absolute madness. Every single keyword is going to convert at a different level, and you want to optimize the bids to drive more sales and get more visibility on the keywords that are doing better than others. And the other ones that are just like burning through your capital, you don't want to like pause or archive them necessarily, but you just want to reduce those bids so you'll get fewer clicks and fewer sales, but still some, but at least at a rate that you can afford. So as long as this is toggled on, you're going to be pretty messed up. Now with sponsored brands, if you accidentally turn that on, you can come back later and turn it off. And so it'll be okay. And you see here now it enables us the ability to adjust our bids individually for the keywords. On sponsored display, unfortunately, if you turn that on, there's no way to turn it off. So you're just going to have to start a new campaign. So very, very unfortunate. But yeah, we learned this lesson the hard way because it doesn't matter. All right, back to you, Andrew. Anything else here?
No, that was pretty much it. That was a good point on that. So yeah, that's how you get the top of search placement. And then the only other thing was on the vertical videos without VCPM. Same thing. You got to use that. You got to use that Amazon stores landing page as the option there. And then if you go down to your creative now, it'll show whenever you go to upload a video. It'll show. Click that drop down. It'll say horizontal or vertical. And so that's how you do it. Boom.
Great. Have you tried the video builder thing?
Yes.
Not good?
Bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
It could maybe get better. Same with Amazon's like custom images, AI stuff, but it's not there yet. And I'm guessing some people are going to ask about product targeting. Do you ever do product targeting sponsored brand ads, Andrew?
I do. One thing I run into with product targeting within sponsored brands is that when I'm trying to go after competitor ASINs and competitor searches and, just non-brand stuff, those competitor targets show up on my branded searches all the time. And they like a lot more than you want for sure. And there's no way to negate it. And so, I kind of stay away from it for the most part. Pretty minimal budget allocation.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously if you're targeting this entire category, you're going to get a whole bunch of different search terms that are coming through. You are not going to be able to tailor your sponsor brand creative uniquely to really match the customer search term and really capture that super high relevancy score. So you're going to need to do something that's a bit more generic. That's just like, you're not going to really be able to play into like the hangover cure or the intermittent fasting solution or anything like that. So that's the primary issue with that. I mean, you could do it and test it, but yeah, we just prefer sticking with keyword targeting for now.
Cool. Well, anything else on sponsor brand, Steven? We all good?
That's it, you guys. Drop us some comments if you want us to cover anything else, any other strategies in particular with this brand. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It makes us happy, keeps the lights on. And other than that, I guess we'll
see you
around.
Maybe if you're going to Accelerate or Unboxed, we'll be there. But this episode is going to be out after Accelerate, maybe before Unboxed. I don't know. See you there.
See you there. Peace out.